If I told you there's one habit so potent, so utterly destructive to the kingdom of darkness, that the devil himself trembles at the man who masters it, it's not what you think. Listen up, spiritual warriors, faith seekers, and young adults hungry for more than just a lukewarm faith. There are men right now walking this earth who are a direct threat to everything the enemy stands for. They aren't just believers. They are living, breathing, battle-hardened weapons in God's arsenal. And the secret to their terrifying power isn't some complex theological riddle or an ancient ritual. It's one singular, profound habit that we're going to unravel today. By the end of this message, you'll understand what it is, why it holds such devastating power, and how you can forge it into an unshakable force in your own life, turning you into the dangerous man God designed you to be. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Dangerous? To the devil? Is it prayer? Is it fasting? Is it generosity? Is it relentless Bible study? Yes, my brothers, these are mighty virtues, powerful weapons in their own right, and essential to every man of God. We cannot discount their impact. But there is a force that undergirds them all, a habit that, when cultivated in a man's life, transforms every prayer into a cannon shot, every fast into a siege, and every act of giving into a direct assault on enemy territory. This greatest threat, this one habit that makes a man a living nightmare for the devil, is radical, unshakable obedience to the will of God. Don't mistake this for passive compliance, a sort of sleepy, yes sir, whatever you say attitude. No, this isn't about being a doormat. It's about being a disciplined warrior. True obedience is an active, disciplined lifestyle, a conscious, moment-by-moment choice to align your will with the King of Kings. It's a powerful, intentional surrender that paradoxically unleashes immense spiritual power. Think about it. Our captain, Jesus Christ himself, was the ultimate example. He didn't just say he was obedient, he lived it. The Bible tells us he was obedient to death, even death on a cross. That wasn't an easy path. It was a path of radical submission that saved humanity and utterly defeated the powers of darkness. That's the kind of obedience that sets men apart, the kind that makes demons shudder. Let's dig into the theological bedrock of this. Why is obedience so terrifying to the devil? Because it directly counteracts his core strategy. What was the devil's original sin? Rebellion. Lucifer himself, the Shining One, fell because of defiance against God. I will ascend to the heavens. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will make myself like the Most High. That's the devil's playbook right there. Rebellion, self-will, defying God's command. So, when a man chooses consistent, habitual obedience to God, he's not just following rules. He's striking at the very foundation of the enemy's kingdom. He's becoming a living contradiction to the devil's nature. Every single act of obedience, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, declares God's sovereignty, right here, right now, in your life. It's a direct vote for God's kingdom and a powerful rejection of the devil's rebellion. And every time you do, you effectively disarm the rebellion virus that the devil spreads. You are choosing God's commands over your own comfort, over your desires, over worldly logic, over what everyone else is doing. Now, let's get down to the brass tacks. How does this radical obedience manifest as a threat? It boils down to two critical ways. First, habitual obedience breaks the cycle of sin. What is sin? The Bible defines it plainly. Sin is the transgression of the law. It's stepping outside God's boundaries. And what does the devil love more than anything? Sin, Satan's power, his strongholds, his grip on lives and generations, often operates directly through habitual sin. Think about it. Those nagging temptations, those patterns of behavior you just can't seem to shake, those are the enemy's favorite playgrounds. They give him legal ground, a foothold, a place to set up shop in your life. But when a man practices immediate, unhesitating obedience, he starves the enemy of that legal ground. He cuts off the supply lines. Imagine the devil trying to build a fortress, but every time he brings a brick, you smash it. Every time he lays a foundation stone, you yank it out. That's what immediate obedience does to sin. When temptation whispers, and you immediately flee, turn away, shut it down, that's obedience. When you're called to forgive someone who has wronged you, and you do it quickly, without nursing a grudge, that's obedience. When the truth needs to be spoken, even if it's uncomfortable, and you speak it, that's obedience. The Bible warns us that the thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. His aim is devastation. But the obedient man, by consistently choosing God's way, erects a defensive wall against the enemy. He denies the thief access. He doesn't leave the door ajar, hoping the thief won't notice. He locks it, bolts it, and stands guard. This isn't just about avoiding trouble. It's about actively dismantling the devil's strategy to trap you in cycles of defeat and despair. Every no to temptation is a yes to God and a go to hell to the devil. It's powerful. Secondly, and this is where it gets truly explosive, habitual obedience unlocks divine authority. This isn't just about defense. This is about offense. The scripture that every spiritual warrior must engrave on his heart is James 4, verse 7. Submit yourselves therefore to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Do you see the critical sequence there? Submission to God must precede resistance of the devil. You cannot effectively resist the enemy until you have first submitted to the general. Think of it like this. If you're a soldier, but you're constantly defying your commander, going off script, doing your own thing, do you really carry the authority of the army? No, you're a rogue agent, easily picked off. But a man who is habitually obedient, a man whose life is a constant yes to God, carries the full, unmitigated authority of the one he serves. When he speaks, it's not just his voice, it's the voice of God's authority behind him. When he commands the enemy to leave, it's not just him speaking, it's heaven backing him up. Remember when Jesus sent out his disciples? They came back rejoicing. Lord, even the demons submit to us in your name. Their power over demons was directly linked to their submission to Jesus' teachings, to their obedience to his command to go. The devil is not threatened by religious activity alone. He's not shaking in his boots because you go to church, or sing loudly in worship, or even know a lot about the Bible. Many religious people are disobedient and powerless. No, he is terrified of a life utterly aligned with God's will, a life that becomes a pure, uncluttered conduit for heaven's power to flow through. When you are obedient, you are not just a believer. You become a walking, talking, demon-chasing manifestation of God's power on earth. That's what makes you dangerous. So, there you have it, brothers. The one habit: continuous, radical, unshakable obedience. This isn't just about being a good Christian. It's about being an effective, powerful, and terrifying weapon in the hands of God. When a man masters this habit, he transforms into an active agent of God's kingdom, a living contradiction to the enemy's agenda. A sanctuary of holiness where darkness cannot dwell, and a powerful channel for God's love and justice to pour into this broken world. The man who truly masters this habit will not just survive, he will thrive. He will not just exist, he will impact. He will not just pray, he will command. And the devil? He will throw everything he has at you to break this habit. Discouragement, distraction, pride, apathy, false teaching. He'll use it all. But the man who will not break this habit, who stands firm in his yes to God, despite all the enemy's efforts, that man poses an existential threat to the kingdom of darkness.